Hi, and welcome to BremSter Puzzles. I'm back to the Sudoku Take Out Pack 4, which we're calling Trivalent Sudoku, which is our anti-diagonal pack. Now, this is a puzzle that came in as very early on. This is called Spinning Faster by EPH. And I do remember doing some initial play on this one. I don't think I ever fully solved it because I didn't really want to, because I wanted to try and do this one on camera. Because this puzzle is using a constraint I came up with a few months ago called the n mates constraint, in this case called the 9 mates constraint. Which is using digits in cells pointing to digits a certain cell away, which sums to a value. I'll go through the rules in a minute. And EPH is the other constructor who's actually been playing with the constraint. I think he's actually done more puzzles than I have with the constraint that I came up with. This seems to be a trend. I come up with a couple of puzzles using a constraint and then other people run with it. But I'm kind of floored by the fact that that EPH actually made a puzzle using this, which is absolutely glorious. So of course there'll be a link below to where you can try this puzzle for yourself, as well as to the entire pack. I'm really looking forward to giving this one a try, because as you can see, looking at this grid, there's not a lot in the grid. The n mates constraint, or in this case, the 9 mates constraint, can be very powerful, but I don't know what I'm looking for in this puzzle. So I'm really looking forward to giving it a try. So let's go through the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have anti-diagonal. So on each of these main diagonals, we can only place 3 distinct digits. So once we've placed 3 different digits on these diagonals, those are the digits that must be repeated on those lines. And then we've got the 9 mates constraint, which is a digit n placed in a cell with an arrow when added to the digit n cells away in the direction of an arrow sums to 9. So if this was a 6, we would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells away, and that would have to be a 3, because 6 cells away, those 2 digits would have to sum to 9. If this was instead a 2, then we would count 2 cells away, and that would have to be a 7, because 2 plus 7 is 9. That's the way the constraint works. I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Thanks EPH for this one. I'm looking forward to it. Let's give this a shot. This box looks really busy because these digits can only be from 1, 2, 3. This digit can only be from 1, 2, 3, 4. These can only be from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, why are they restricted to these? So there must be a 5 in one of these two. So why are these restricted like this? Because this digit has to point to another digit, but the furthest away we can point is 1, 2, 3. This can't be higher than 3 or it'd be pointing off the grid. This can't be higher than 4 or it'd be pointing off the grid. And these can't be higher than 5 or they'd be pointing off the grid. So now, there's definitely something going on here. This can't be a 1 because it'd be pointing here and this would need to be an 8. It can't be a 2 or this would need to be a 7. Okay, this can't be a 1. So 1 is in one of those cells, because this could go 1, 8. 5 is in one of those, which means one of those two has to be a 4, because the 5 here is going to point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cells away, and the 5 is going to add to the digit 5 cells away and point to a 4. If this is a 1, this would be an... Ooh. I've looked at this before when I first came up with the constraint, and I can't remember how it worked. There was a trick with something like this. Because this is actually quite constrained, and I can't remember how it works. Because these have to point to 3 different digits. These need to point to 3 different digits. These absolutely need to point to those 3 digits. So if this is a 1, yeah, if this is a 1, this couldn't be a 2. This can't be 1 higher than this, or they'd point to the same digit. And this can't be 1 higher than this, or they'd point to the same digit. So if this is a 3, that would point to here. Ooh, there's something going on with this. What happens if that's a 2? Actually, it might be more broken if this is a 2, it's pointing to that cell. So those would be paired up. This couldn't then point to this. So it couldn't be a 1 or a 2. This would be a 3 and point to that cell. And what would this point to? 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be a 4. So this would go 2, 3, 4. There's definitely something going on here, and I'm not sure how this works. If this is a 1, it points here. This now can't be a 2. So this would be 3 or 4. There's something going on here, and I can't see what it is. This, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has to be a 1, doesn't it? Because those 3 digits are pointing at those 3 digits. So those 3, right. This is a 1. Because those 3 digits, those 3 digits here, whatever they are, they can't point at each other. Because this has to point into one of these 3 cells. This can't point at that, so it has to point into one of those 3 cells. And this can't point at either of those, so it points into one of those 3 cells. So those are digits that sum to 9. So there's only 4 ways of making 9. 2, 7, 3, 6, and 4, 5. Sorry, 1, 8, 2, there's 4 ways. 1, 8, 2, 7, 3, 6, and 4, 5. Right? So those point to those. So what does that point to? It can't point to any of these, because if it points to any of these, this would be the same digit as one of those. And it can't point to any of those, or this would be the same digit as one of those. So the only cell that can point to is that one. And that's 1 and that's 8. So there's no 1 here. That's cool. Whoops, I didn't mean to remove the digits. I meant to remove the color. That's really cool. So if this was 2, this can't be 2 now. Oh, no, it could. This can't be. 1 is in one of those 2. If this is. This can't be 2 now. No, wait. Something has to point to this. What can point to this now? It's got to be one of those 2. So either that's a 2 or that's... Hang on. Yeah. Something has to point to this cell. Because those 3 are pointing at those. So either that's a 2 or that's a 3. If that's a 2, it's pointing at that. That becomes a 3, pointing at that. And 1, 2, and that becomes a 4. So I think this is more restricted. Let's use thing. If this is a 2, sorry, if this is, let's do it this way. No. If this is a 2 pointing at this is a 3 pointing at this, and this is a 4 pointing at this. Okay. That's if this is a 2 pointing at this. Now, if this is a 3 pointing at this is a 2 pointing at this, and what's that? That'd be a 4 pointing at this. So they're the 2 possible ways this works. So this is either 2 or 4. This can never be 3. If this is 3, this becomes 2. Yeah, if this is 3, it's pointing 1, 2, 3, and this becomes a 2 and it's pointing at the same cell. This is never a 3. And this one if it's purple, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And if it's blue, it's 1, 2, 3. So this is never 5. It can never point at one of those. Because blue points there and purple points there. This is never 5. This is 3 or 4. That's 5. Oh, wow. And that gives me the breakdown of these. And 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a 4. Okay, but that's 2, 3, 4. So that's 1 and that's 8. Okay, I need to be able to do more than this. So which ones are done? Let's do something like, no, not that, because I might need the colouring. What I wanted to do was put a yellow circle around the ones that were done. This one is also done. This. So this is 1, 2, 4, or 5. These are all 1, 2, 4, or 5. And these are all 1, 2, 4, or 5 because those are the digits on the diagonal. Now this can't be 1. If it's 2, that's 7. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be 5. 5, that would be 4. Now this could be 1. 2 would make that 6. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 would make that 5, and 5 would make that 4. Not sure. This can't be 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That actually still works. Okay. These are 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm not sure what that's doing. But these are 2, 3, 4. And I think they can go in any of those orders. But that means we know what... Oh, yeah, these sum to 9. That's a 9. Because we can't have... And these, 2 goes with 7, 3 goes with 6, and 4 goes with 5. These are 5, 6, and 7. And that's been there for ages. That's the way I... Oh, no, once I got this is 2, 3, 4. These are 5, 6, 7. So 8 is in one of those two. Two would make that 7, which would make that 2. I think that works. One of these must be a 1. And one of these must be a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be a 4 or that. So one of those is a 4. One of these must be a 1. Well, that can't. Oh, no. One of those two must be a 1. And one of these must be a 5. Okay, what can this be? 1, it can't be 1. And its maximum is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's 2 through 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ugh. This one could go as high as 8. Well, hang on a minute. No, because these are 6, 7, 8, 9. So one of those has to be from 6, 7, 8, 9. And I don't think they could both... Well, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 would mean that would need to be 3, and it can't be. So this isn't 6. This one, however, so 2 of these digits are from 6, 7, 8, 9. Can I put 8 here? 8 here would make this 1, which would make that 8. That could actually work. One of these is an 8, and one of these is a 4. If this is a 4, that's a 5. This can't be a 4. If this was a 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, that would be a 5 to sum to 9, which mean this isn't the 5, which would mean one of those two is a 5. And if this is a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be a 4. And if this is a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that would be a 4. And I'd put 4 in one of those two. But if this is a 4, making that a 5, putting 5 in one of those two, making one of those a 4, I'd need to put a 4 on this diagonal after I put 4 in one of those two. That's a 2, that's a 3, that's a 4. That's absolutely insane. Sorry, I was trying to get rid of the colouring. So 2 means that's 7. 3 away, 1, 2, 3 is 6, and 4 away, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 5. And these are 1, 2, 5. There's no 4 in here. These are 1, 2, 5. That's not a 5. So there's either an 8 here or a 7 here. I can't do 2, 7, so this is 1, 8, and there's no 8 in here. 2, 7 works. 5, 4 might work. 2, 7 might work as well. 5, 4 also works. So this isn't resolved, but there's no 4 in these. These are 1, 2, 5. So this is either 2, 7 or 5, 1, 2, 3. That's a 4. And it could be. But these are now done. There must be a 2 in one of these. And I'm, oh, wow, okay. There's no 8 in either of those. I already had that. Two, 7 or 5, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. This is assuming I haven't made a terrible mistake somewhere. So I'm trying to see what I can do with this. So there's no 3 or 4 on this because there's no 3 or 4 on this. So there's no 3, 4 here. This is 2, 5 or 7. It can't be 5 either. This is only 2 or 7. Oh, so that's a 7 or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, or that's a 2 and that can't be a 2. If this is a 7, that would need to be a 2 and it can't be. That's a 2, that's a 7. Oh, that's beautiful. That means this isn't a 7. The 2 looks up making that the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 4. Wow. And now neither of these are 5. I've done most of the arrows. I haven't done this one. Haven't done this one. Haven't done this one. But these are from 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, this can't be a 9 because 9 is off the grid. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's pointing to one of those 3 cells. Now, if this is an 8, that would need to be a 1. So this is not an 8. So it's either pointing at a 3 here or a 2 here. And it can't point to a 2 here. This is a 6. This is a 3. Because 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 would have needed a 2 here and I can't do it. Wow. So this is the 6. And now, this isn't a 6, but there must be a 6 in one of those two, so neither of those is a 6. Is that all of the circles done? No, not these. Two and 6. Well, 6 is in one of those two. And there must be 2 of 6, 7, 8, 9 on here, as well as a 2. 7 is in one of those two. What are these? 1, 2, 3. I've got to put a 4 in one of those two. 5, 6 is in one. This is a 4, 6 pair. 4, 6 means these are 4, 6, which means that's the 7 and that's the 9. Does that resolve this? 1 is in one. 1 is right here by Sudoku because 1 of all of those, and these are 2, 3, and 9. There's no 9 there. Two, 7, 5, 4. 2, 7. Holy cow, that works either way. Or 5, 4. This one resolves either way. So I need to do a lot of Sudoku. The 6 makes that the 4 and that the 6. Which means this isn't the 6. This is the 6. And there's a 2 in one of those two. Which means 2 is in one of those two and 2 is in one of those two. So where's 2 in this column? It can't be in any of those. It can't be in any of those. 2 is in one of those two with the 9. So this is a 2, 9. This is a 3. So these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. These are 3 and 7. 2, however, also can't be in any of those or any of those. So 2 is in one of those, but not in the middle. 2 is in one of those two. This resolves either way. So I can basically mark this because whichever one it turns out to be is going to be correct. This one is the one I don't know about, is can that be a 4? So there must be a 6 in one of those. There's a 2 in one of those. There's no 7. 7 is off this line. So there's no 7 in any of those. 7 is in one of those two, which puts 7 up here, but there's no 7 here. This is an 8 or a 9, and the 8 looks across, making that the 9. So this is a 6, 9 pair. There's no 8 here. There's no 8 here. This is the 8. This is the 7. This is a 6, 9 pair. So this is a 2, 9 pair. And the 9 looks up, making that the 2 and that the 9, which means this is the 5, this is the 2, and we're now done. All of the circles are done. We are now down to Sudoku. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 4 and 5. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1 and 8. The 5 looks across, making that the 4 and that the 5. This would have resolved either way. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would have resolved either way. Holy cow. These arrows were mean. 2 and 2 puts 2 in one of those two. The fact that this resolves is crazy. I need something. 9 is in one of, 9 and 9 takes 9 out of those. That 9 takes 9 out of there. That's a 9. Putting 9 in one of these. No. That's, the 2 means this is the 1 and this is the 2. 1 and 1 puts 1 in one of those two, but that one says not there. That's the 1, which puts 1 in one of those two. I need to put, what do I need to put in here? 3, 5, 7, and 8. Well, this is 3 or 5 because it can't be 7 or 8. This can't be 3 or 5, so it's 7 or 8. There's no 7 in any of those. That's the 7. These are 3, 5, 8, must contain an 8. There's no 8 there. This is an 8. This is 3 or 5. So this is a triple now. 2, 8, 9. Well, there's no 2 or 8 there. That's the 9. And this is a 2, 8 pair. Not sure how to resolve that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, these are 3, 4, 5. Must contain a 4. There's no 3 there. Column 8, maybe? 3, 6, 8. Yeah, where's 8 in this column? 8 and 8 means that's the 8, and these are 3 and 6. And the 3 looks over, making that the 6 and that the 3. The 6 looks across, making that the 9 and that the 6. 9, 9 puts 9 up here, put right there, making that the 2. The 2 looks down, making that the 8 and that the 2. The 8 looks across, making that the 1 and that the 8. Oh, isn't this so clever? Row 2. I need to put 1 in row 2. 1 and 1 means this is the 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 and 7. These are 3 and 7. Don't know, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these are 4 and 6. Okay. The 9 makes this the 2 and this the 9, and that's going to resolve these down to pairs. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2 and 7. These are 2 and 7, and the 2 makes that the 7 and that the 2. The 7 looks up, making that the 3 and that the 7. The 3 looks down, making that the 5 and that the 3. So these, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The 5 makes that the 4 and that the 5. The 4 looks up, making that the 6 and that the 4. So the 5 comes out of both of those, meaning this is the 4 and this is the 3. This is a triple, 1, 5, 6. The 1 and the 6 means that's the 5. This is a 1, 6 pair, and the 1 looks down, making that the 6 and that the 1. We're almost down to the final box. Let's look at this column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are 3 and 6, and the 6 makes that the 3 and that the 6. This 3 looks across, making that the 7 and that the 3. Need to put a 4 in this box. It's not in any of those or there. That's the 4. These are, what are they? 5, 7, and 8. The 8 takes the 8 out of those, making that the 8, and then the 7 looks up, making that the 5 and that the 7. And that is a beautiful puzzle. And I probably had an advantage of when I started playing around with this new constraint a few months ago. I did a fair bit of exploration of some of the stuff, particularly like this, although some of the better people with logic in this community, I think, will plow through this one. What an incredibly good puzzle. I hope you enjoyed the constraint as well as the puzzle. And I don't just mean the anti-diagonal, I mean the n mates constraint. In this particular case, 9 mates. I said a couple of puzzles, I said a 10 mates constraint. I never made a good 9 mates constraint. Trust EPH to be a much better creator than I am. I made a couple of 9 mates puzzles, but I was never prepared to release them. I didn't think they were very good. This is very good. An excellent 9 mates puzzle. I love this constraint. I think it's got a lot of possibilities. Oh, actually, I did a Cage Mates puzzle with full deck and missing a few cards, which we released. It's actually available on their account on Logic Masters Germany, where the arrows in cages pointed to plus with the digit N on the arrow cell summed to the digit that was in the cage. It's been solved on a few channels. I really enjoyed that one as well. That had a really nice breaking. But this is about this puzzle and this pack. So hope you enjoyed this one. Couple more to go, including one that I think is absolutely brutal. Maybe I'm just not very good. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope you're enjoying the pack. And as always, good luck with your solving.